Function is a group of related statements that perform a specific task. It helps you to break your programs into smaller, understandable parts. If you use functions, you can have a reusable, organizable, and more manageable code. The form of a function looks like this. Def is a keyword which starts the entire function signature. Function name has the same rule set as variables have. For example, you can't start it with a number. You need parentheses and colon as well. Parameters. You can pass parameters, additional data to your function, as many as you'd like, and it can have any data type. Indentations. You need to use indentation to specify the code block of your function. Return statement. Function can have a return statement, means function will give you a result, and that result is usable on other calculations or in other statements too. And of course, your simple statements. Now let's write our first function, which is a simple hello function. So def keyword, function name is hello, parentheses and the colon. We need an indentation, and I just write hello out to the console. It doesn't have parameters, no return value, it just calls a print statement. Functions are reusable. I can call this function as many times as I want. Function call is simply the function name and parentheses. Now I will call this function 2 times. In this section, I add the name parameter to this hello function. I add it to the statement as well with a string concatenation. Now Visual Studio says no value for argument name in function call, so I need to add an argument as a name to this function call. So this is a parameter and this is an argument. In the function definition, there can be any number of parameters. So I'm going to add the second parameter to my hello function, message. Now I have to call it with 2 arguments. Kate, how are you? A parameter can be a default parameter, which means you don't have to specify an argument in the function call. So it's optional. I modify this message parameter to be a default one. I need an assignment operator and a default value, which can be anything. For now, it will be an empty string. Now, this message parameter is optional, so I can call this hello function with or without the message argument. So this is with the argument, and it works well. And what if I delete this? No error from Visual Studio, and I can run it, and it works. When you call the hello function with 2 arguments, Kate and how are you, argument Kate is assigned to parameter name, and argument how are you is assigned to parameter message. What is the main point here is that the position of these arguments really matter. With Python, you can change the order of these arguments when you call the function with keyword arguments. You only need to make an assignment statement in the argument section. So name equals Kate and message equals how are you. So you can change the order. It really doesn't matter to Python. So it can be message, and this one can be name. Python is able to make the assignment, and you can change the order of the arguments when you call your function. However, you can't mix simple arguments with keyword arguments. If I delete this one, it just doesn't work. You need to choose your way in every function call. There can be a case when you don't know how many arguments will be passed to your function. To solve this problem, Python has a solution, arbitrary arguments. I need to mark the parameter with an asterisk, and this parameter will be a tuple with all of the arguments passed. So this is the parameter itself, and I mark this one, so this will be an arbitrary argument, and I simply just print out the names. You can use a for loop to iterate over this names collection. Now I only show the content of the variables. I can call this function with any number of arguments, even without arguments. So without arguments, it looks like it is a tuple, really. If I just add Mike here, tuple with one element, with the trailing comma. If I add another argument, again, it works. We have two arguments now. You can set a return statement to a function, which means that function will have a result, an outcome. And you can use that result later in your code, save it to a variable, or set it as an argument to another function. Let's rewrite our hello function to have a return value. So in this case, I don't print anything inside the function. Instead, I have a return statement. I can save the outcome of the hello function to a variable. Message equals this one. So this message variable should have a value, which is this. But of course, the name parameter will be Kate as an argument. Now I can print the message variable, and it is hello Kate. Or I can print the result directly by calling the function inside the built-in print function. So print, and I don't need this variable. And it gives the same result. Return statement is optional. If a function doesn't have a return statement, it still has a result, which is none. I can use the pass statement here and just run this code, and it is none. When you call a function, Python starts to interpret the statements inside the function, and when it is finished, it goes back to the function calling statement and starts to interpret the next statement below the function call. Interpretation means Python basically goes through the source code lines and executes those statements line by line. To really understand this, let's see the order of the execution of this program. First, Python parses the function declaration, but it doesn't run anything because this is just a declaration. Then comes a print statement. This is an execution, so this will be our first output. Next, we have a function call. So Python will execute this function, then its statements, which is really this print function. And when it is finished, it goes back to the function call and continues the execution line by line. So this will be our second output. And when the execution of this code block is finished, Python goes back to the function call and continues the interpretation. So this will be our last output of our program. That's all for now. I hope I will see you in the next lesson.